Hi Pisces, welcome to your October 2017 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. So if you're interested in October's love reading, just look on my channel because I've already uploaded one for your sign. And for a private reading, click on the link below. It takes you to RenaMoonAstrology.com. I started over because I wanted to clear my throat, and I was thinking about some of these cards. Now, there are several Swords cards, and Swords connect to air energy. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. With personal relationships and Pisces, I usually think of Geminis. Now, but this is a general reading, so it doesn't have to be a love situation. It could be a sibling. It could be something to do with your thoughts racing, having a lot of racing thoughts. In the past position, we have a dilemma, somebody who has to choose between something or who can't seem to make a decision. They're at a stalemate. They feel maybe a sense of being trapped. They may be blinded to the situation, hence the blindfold. In other words, they may be lying to themselves. Certainly with Pisces, the planet Neptune that rules Pisces, one of the key words is deception. And this is because Neptune is otherworldly and is not really something you can, it rules photography and I believe the motion picture industry, which is a factory for illusions, But anyway, there may have been a choice that you feel compelled to make, but you're not necessarily making it, you're not thinking clearly. So making the decision is very hard. When maybe if you were thinking clearly, it would be clear cut. The heart of the matter is the Seven of Swords. Now this could be somebody is cheating on you. Somebody is stealing from you. So, I mean, it could even be somebody has a child who's a heroin addict and all of their valuables are missing, and yet the Pisces parent cannot bear to throw them out of the house, even though they're cleaning out their cabinets and they're doing everything. They still are saying, well, it might not be, maybe he's not on heroin and maybe somebody else did it, those kind of things. And we know that people do this all the time. They don't do it because they're stupid or because they're immoral. They do it because they love somebody who has a problem, and that's not a crime, loving somebody who has a problem. But if it's affecting you, affecting your household, but this can also be stealing in a marriage, cheating in a marriage. Okay, and then we have here the Hermit card, which connects to going within and trying to seek the truth from within yourself. By the way, the Seven of Swords sometimes means going it alone for yourself. So you may decide, should I stay in this situation or go? And you decide to go. Could totally be in a work situation. It could be that somebody is stealing your ideas, they're copying you, they're getting credit for something that you did. However you want to put it, stealing your glory. And then the boss thinks that they're great and they think you're the one that's mediocre. I was just thinking back to when I was in high school and I used to write poetry. And there was this girl and she was a cheerleader. And she was like, she didn't do her homework or something. And she said, could I take one of your poems? Because I would just write them for myself. And can I, give it to the teacher? And in those days, I didn't have much of a moral backbone. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And she gave it to the teacher, and the teacher gave her an A, and he gave me a lesser grade on my poem. And I'm like, hey, wait a second. That was my, I mean, in my mind, I was thinking, hey, why did she get a better grade on my poem? The higher message is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands connects to expansion. Okay, now this is actually can be an entrepreneurial energy where you're brimming with ideas and passion for a particular project, and this is something with a career. Now, as the spiritual message, if you're having some kind of a situation at work where you're thinking of leaving, or maybe you have left, it's like saying the universe is telling you, it could be saying that the universe has your back, and these events are working on your behalf, because otherwise you might have stayed somewhere where you would have been playing small, where you wouldn't have had your ideas recognized, your everything, all your talents appreciated. And now you have that little push to be able to do that. And the same thing with personal relationships. That Three of Wands is about expanding your horizons. And maybe you were in a toxic relationship where you didn't have a chance to grow, and that other person may have not wanted you to grow. And now you feel this sense of like possibility in life that you probably didn't feel before. What challenges you is another Swords card, which is the Eight of Swords. Now this card, as you can see, this person is blindfolded too, and they're bound. This is a card that represents your self-imposed limitations, which can make you feel like you're oppressed. They can make you feel like your hands are tied, like you can't do anything. But it's coming from your consciousness. You're doing it to yourself. These are, for Pisces, this can even be karmic. You're the last sign of the zodiac. You rule the house of karma. So for Pisces people, whether it's childhood indoctrination, a traumatic event that kind of really imprinted something onto you, and it's hard for you to shake whatever it is, this is a time, like the Hermit card, to go within, and which is something that you should be able to do quite easily, to tune into those more higher, the higher frequencies, and really see what comes up. They talk about the difference between prayer and meditation. They said prayer is talking to God, and meditation is listening to God. I think that's so on point and so true. And I've never been a big prayer person, because to me it was almost like whining to God. And I know that it's not always like that. But to me it seems a little silly, because we are part of God. It's not like God is, God has gone fishing and we have to, call him on the cell phone. So it's like, it seems to me that the real communion with God comes with meditation, and being able to just be in the stillness and see what comes up for you, if anything. Obviously, you're not supposed to be actively thinking and plotting while you're meditating, but by the same token, people come up with wonderful ideas when they are just quieting their minds. And this can be like inventions and works of art, but also game plans. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get out of this situation? Or how am I going to get into this situation? What comes in is the Ace of Cups, an offer of love. This may be an offer of a job that you love, a labor of love, something that speaks to your soul and is more in alignment with... I actually got this card, I think, with Scorpio. I don't know if I think it was for the general readings. And, you know, same thing. Scorpio, water sign. Water signs tend to need to be involved with things at an emotional level, to have that connection emotionally, for it to be really meaningful for them. Otherwise, they can feel like they're just going through the motions even. The outcome is the Hierophant. The outcome is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is a card of, sometimes it can be traditional values, conforming to tradition. For instance, marriage sometimes is featured, but it's also like in a group setting, it's some kind of group environment. So if you're working in a corporate environment, it could be speaking about that, and maybe that's something that is what you're looking to expand into. But the other thing that this card represents is honoring, you know, conforming to things that are traditional. Now, that doesn't mean becoming old-fashioned, but it's like the tried and true. The things that, you know, our society is built around, the structures that have, you know, shown themselves. Maybe even a company that has a history versus an upstarting company. The other thing is that this card connects to Taurus. So whether it's timing issues, we do have a full moon in Taurus on November 4th, and that may be significant for some of you. So for Pisces, that would be your third house of communications. So something something comes to light about somebody through the internet, or you receive a message from someone, an awareness. You may be working on something that is internet-based, and you're finished by then, and you're ready to launch. But maybe it's a person who is a Taurus or has a strong Taurus influence. So basically what I see with these cards, Pisces, is that, and who knows, maybe that's the new person that comes into your life. Basically what I see is that you are seeing the light about something and moving on in whatever way it works for you. But you also have something coming in. It's not like you're walking away into the sunset and you have, there's no way to fill that void. It's like it's something else comes in right away, maybe. Right after you leave one situation, a better one comes along. So that's good. And in terms of the card, I got Effortless Waterfall. Let me see. Notice how the waterfall forms ribbons that accord with the artistry of the stone. Faces, she descends, joining the calmer pool for a rest before she continues her journey. The water simply follows natural law in the interaction between the formations of the precipice that she traverses and the powerful fluidity and adaptability of her flow. Effortless. You have come to the edge of your comfort zone and find yourself fighting to resist moving past that perceived precipice of who you are. How you can be or what you can do. That's what this is. And it is kind of like a precipice if you look at it. Because this person is looking out into the distance and they look like they might be at an elevation. So it really goes along with the spiritual message. Spirit is asking you to step beyond the edge and allow yourself to do so with ease rather than struggle. Yes, at times physical exertion is necessary, but when performed with fluidity and grace, even when the task seems daunting, you'll find that the movement moves you effortlessly. Approach the present situation or relationship with awareness and grace. Do not try to make it effortless. That just creates more strain. The key word here is to allow. This is not a time to fight, but to surrender to the will of Spirit, even if you're being asked to let go completely and tumble into the brink of creation itself. You will find the waters there to be ultimately still and calm. Keep your focus on your solar plexus and your breath, breathing through any tension. Relaxing and yielding to the movement that is occurring at any given moment makes your life effortless. Yes, very true. You know, the art of allowing, they call it. When you have done all that you can do in a situation. Okay, Pisces. So I hope you enjoyed this and have an amazing October. Bye.